Alright, stream muted. Welcome back, everyone. To another episode, another session. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Good? Got drinks?
YouTube, bro.
Sat down. Got the Bardley link.
I'm actually lying down.
Actually, not got the Bardley link?
Have you not?
No.
You should get it. It's good.
Yeah, I'll download one.
Yep. You should download some more RAM while you're at it. It's good.
Yeah, I'll download the Bardley link on eBay.
On eBardley. Okay, cool. Right. Well, then let's get started if everyone's ready. So, then, last we left off, Clive Five had made their way up to the mountains bordering the nation of Carnea, ruled by Naruzatar. You had some interesting troubles on the way, sort of being whisked away by what seemed like a house of vampires, and some sort of like captured, strange, mutated alien beholder vampire thing. But upon surviving that, you broke the curse on that house and made your way finally to the Arat River Valley Bridge, where two forts overlook a large ravine about maybe 200 feet up in the air and about 90 feet apart, with this large old stone bridge between them. You managed to go in. You got invited into the fort before we finished off. You spoke to one of the guards on the walls, who has led you into the fort, and you see, a couple of people just sort of walking around, doing daily tasks, maintaining weapons and armor, moving food supplies from one place to another. And you also see a couple of scouts returning from hunting. But you're led into the main bit of the keep. This fort isn't very big, you notice. It seems to be more like some sort of early warning system in case Carnea was to amass on the border or something. So there is this like big pyre almost, which is unlit on the top of this keep. But you're led into the main sort of square grey stone keep, and taken to the sort of captain's quarters, who you knock on the door, and you're led in to a quite nicely kept room, although it's very minimal in terms of what's actually in here. A couple of like swords are hung on the walls, like one tiny piece of art and like a little tapestry, and just a couple of like bare wood chairs, sort of, and a desk, just sort of in the centre of this room. Sat at the desk is quite a large burly man who has one sort of dead blind eye with a large scar running down it. He's got a pretty thick beard, and he wears a very, very thick sort of black cloak made of like what seems like wolf pelt, dyed black, with this like large sword by his side. He looks you up and down, carries on writing for a little bit as the guard sort of nods to you and just says he'll talk to you when ready. But then the guard goes off as you're just sort of stood kind of awkwardly as this guy's finishing what he's writing. After a couple of moments, he sets down the quill and looks up at you all. He says, "Greetings. I am Captain Uldarkane Morin. I am I am tasked with the running of this fort. I've been told that you are here to cross over into Carnea."
That's the plan.
Very well. I have been sent a letter from the Emperor, but just so I can validate who you are, who you say you are, do you have anything that might be able to prove your identity?
Oh yeah, we have a letter, right?
You do.
I will just get that out.
Okay. You sort of get it out and hand it over to him. He just sits there in the chair slightly for a moment. His hands shaking. You notice. He seems to have some sort of degenerative sort of condition, or maybe just a tremor of some sort. But he's like sits there and his hands are shaking quite a lot. But he sets the letter down. He says, "Very well. I have to ask. Crossing into Carnea is usually not recommended, but you seem to understand who you are."
Mike, who's this guy's name? Can you spell it out?
Yeah, Old Arcane. Let me just send it to you.
Thank you.
Gotta put it in the list of people we know list. Thank you.
He looks up at you all and he says, "Meanwhile, you are free to stay the night, or as long as you like, before you cross over. I have a couple of things perhaps I need to tell you before you cross over. So when you are comfortable, come and find me again, or we can talk about it now. It's your choice."
We can talk about it now.
Very well. He stands up and sort of like dusts down his black cloak and begins to lead you out into the courtyard. Do you follow?
Yeah.
Okay. He sort of just walks with his hands behind his back, quite confident. He has his sword at his side, and you notice that the sword is quite a large two-hand sword, which is very, very well made. He sort of says, "I have been guarding the walls of this fort for 30 years. Not once have I ever met a scion, or anyone has crossed this bridge. It is clearly an interesting time."
Can I do an inside check on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because that don't gel with other stuff. Oh, I'm just selecting over to Gary now, but it was the same. It was Gary who did it.
Okay. It seems to be. It sort of depends. Like he seems definitely to be surprised that you guys are crossing the bridge. You're not sure whether he's necessarily like lying straight up, or maybe just not telling the whole truth about maybe what's been crossing the bridge. But there's definitely an undertone of something in his voice which suggests that like this is a strange occasion for you to be crossing the bridge. Anyway, so he continues as he takes you up on the walls, and he points over to the fort on the other side. And he says, "It is no surprise then that something strange happened a couple of days ago." And he points over to the fort. You notice that there's like a strange fog just on the other side of the ravine that seems to be covering everything. He says, "That was not there 3 days ago."
Sorry, I'm just writing it down. Don't talk so fast.
Have you seen fogs like this descend upon the valley before?
Occasionally, but usually it goes by midday.
Is this similar to the fog we saw in VL?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Did I click the wrong one?
No, that was right.
Okay.
The fog seems quite similar. He says, naturally, you can see the fort over there, but seeing movement on the walls has been difficult for us over the last couple of days. However, there was some sort of strange event 3 days ago which precluded the arrival of the fog. There was a loud sort of whooshing and then a bang, which seemed to come from Carnea. And then this wall of fog descended very quickly and seemed to stop at the bridge. It seems to only be affecting the Carnean side. I myself think it's some sort of trap, so I have refused to send scouts over to check it out. I do not want Carnea to have, a border conflict with us. especially as we are, as you can see, quite underprepared for an assault. But if you are crossing the bridge anyway, it's maybe worth checking out.
Where the fog is it basically just obscuring any view of?
You can
Carnea
sort
at
of
all?
you can make out the walls, but any like sort of really fine detail on the walls and maybe like the movements of people on the walls is quite obscured. You can't see any movement from where you are on the walls. But you can, see the walls because they're quite dark stone, so they do stick out quite a lot.
So maybe there's something going on in there that they don't want us to see.
Well, that is possible. Though, however, again, generally that fort is almost always as undefended as this one is. It's almost like an agreement we have with Carnea that neither of us will tread on the other.
Really simple. Have you seen much movement around the fort? I understand it's hard to see at any point in time, but over the days, have you seen people moving around, acting strange, normal?
Over the last 3 days, not very much. We saw movement. A couple of days ago. A scouting party went out from Carnea and must have headed into the woods. But after that, we didn't see any movement. The scions that usually man the walls don't move much anyway, so they tend to stand there for maybe 24 hours at a time before
Just
being
out of
chained over.
curiosity,
Go ahead.
just out of curiosity, you mentioned scions. Did you see a particularly orcish one at some point?
When are you specifying? I haven't seen
Just
much.
At any point, like just coming out of nowhere.
Within the
I
last
don't know
year.
any orc scions.
Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I have not kept in contact with any scions. I've not ever met a scion before.
But there's other ways people can leave VL. They could fly. They could. Is there another entrance? Not
Well-
VL. Sorry, Connie.
I personally have not seen anyone like that.
But there's another entrance, right?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different entrances. Well, there's a whole bunch of different places, but this is like the main crossing between the Free Cities and Carnea. If you look on the map, there's like really the big border is with the Commonwealth Carnea has. So like where you are currently is like probably the only funnel point really from the Free Cities into Carnea.
Okay.
He looks at you all and he says, if you are going across the bridge, I will send my Magister with you. His name is Daryl. He is an expert on Carnean customs, so if anything comes up, you can always tap his mind for information. He is an interesting fellow, but he is kind of hard.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you.
Yes. Anyway, is there any questions you have of me, or?
Is there a workshop around here?
We have a blacksmith. We have a blacksmith's forge.
Maybe. I just want to look over something a second.
Very well. Yeah. Speak to Hamad, who is at the. Well, he's at the forge. He points over to like this sort of like out sort of hut on the walls that's got smoke coming from a chimney and like a thatched roof.
Can I? Is
Sure
there,
to.
is there a temple of some description?
We have a small chapel to the Pentuster.
Are any of them particularly near a hill or some kind of mountain?
No, we keep them in the walls. Too many attacks on people congregating over the years has led to us to generally keep as much stuff as we can inside the walls here.
Okay.
You are not a human though. Will you be praying to the Pentester?
Oh, I will be doing some sort of praying, I suppose, to the Pentasta. Or...
Well, very well. You all have. There are accommodations for you all here. If you need to stay the night, or as long as you like. Food is your own responsibility. However, we do not have enough to share. Especially if it's going to last us through the winter.
That's very fair.
Yeah, but we've got our own food, so.
Very well.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, just ask. Otherwise, I will be in my office.
That's great, thanks.
Okay, so
Cool.
he goes off and leaves you on the walls, just sort of looking over the ravine.
What does the ravine look like? Is it ominous?
It seems like a quite standard mountain ravine between two quite large cliff faces, very sheer drops. Down at the bottom, you see a quite small, sort of trickling sort of river. You don't know whether you don't know how deep it is. It's not very wide though. The sort of ravine gets sort of narrower and narrower towards the bottom, but up at this level, it's about 90 feet across.
Okay.
It looks more like perhaps some sort of tectonic plate activity rather than like a river erosion. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So it's like jaggedy.
Yeah.
Spooky. With all the fog, but that's scary. Are you scared? Gothric, are you scared?
Why would I be scared? It's fog.
Spooky fog.
We just fought vampires.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Just...
wait, am I missing something?
Scary
Here? Orcs scared of fog? Is it like
What's
cats
that?
and are orcs and fogs like cats and cucumbers or something?
Cats and cucumbers.
What's a cucumber?
What's a cat?
I'm no, like we lived on the mountains for so long. This kind of thing's just normal, you know. It's fog.
Alex, can you mute your microphone if you do whatever you're doing?
That was an
Spraying
interesting noise.
deodorant.
It sounded like you were like snorting something.
I didn't realise you could hear that. I was just spraying an air can.
Right,
He's just snorting something to get hyped up for D&D.
yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of cooking. Alright, carry on.
Wait.
It's fog. It's natural.
Is it? It doesn't look very natural. It looks like it's caused by. Well, it looks like what we saw in VL, doesn't it?
I mean, it looks like fog to me.
Right. Okay.
I don't really know what else we can do about fog. Really, it's there.
Yeah. Okay.
Did we know of anything that Naruzatar was planning in the not-so-distant future?
I mean, apparently he wanted to call this because problems with Badran, I think Meredith said. It could, or was it someone else?
It was Eston Jafaris who told you that it was about Badran.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Merith on the mind.
Or it seems to me that he is preparing for something of some description.
Maybe he's just trying to freak us out. Display of power.
I very much doubt this is just for us, Morna.
We are very special people.
We are very, very special people.
Clive 5.
Hell yeah.
That type of thinking might get one killed.
What type of thinking won't
So we
get
got a
someone
few people
killed?
in this group killed.
We're basically gods, is what we're saying. We could do this.
No, we're not there yet.
We are
Definitely not there yet.
We can only just be pawns to the grand will of the world.
I would say maybe I'm slightly higher up than a pawn.
Like a
Is that a
bishop.
prawn or
bishop?
a pawn?
I think I'd probably be like a bishop. You know, I do actually do things for God.
Like, does
not
chess
just-
happen in this world?
Well, with how you,
Garrett
you-
doesn't really know about like Orthady games much, but you know there's certain sort of strategic board games out there which people do play.
I'm expecting you to design every single one to meticulous detail, Mike.
Yeah.
It's all actually just variations of 40k.
Oh yeah, 40k and D&D, hell yeah.
Exactly. All right, sci-fi is like fantasy to these guys.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, what do you guys feel like doing?
I'm gonna head to the forge.
Gira's gonna head to. I don't think the temple's a suitable candidate. Is there like a mountain nearby?
Yeah, you're in the mountains.
Sure, no, but like an actual one that like Gira could kind of just go off of it.
like a proper peak, maybe half a day's walk.
Okay.
So it'll probably be like a day to get there and back.
Okay, I'll explain my rationale because that might help. So I realise I actually can use level 6 spells. I thought
Yeah,
it
but you
was-
can't use level 6 cleric spells.
I see.
You can only upcast to level 5 because you're multi-class.
Yeah.
so- Yeah, so you
Okay,
can't
ignore me
actually-
then.
yeah.
Ignore me. That's fine. Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Gira's just gonna chill.
Okay. All right, so Gothric, you go to the blacksmith forge. You see a quite very bulky dwarf at the anvil. His sort of his beard is like very well plaited and kept with all these sort of different coloured beads within them. Also, hanging from strings, like sort of tied within his beard, are these like quite large ingots of what seems to be some sort of adamantium, maybe, which are like stamped and have all sorts of different like Mistran runes all over them. His skin is fairly dark, also from like the coal sort of forges. Also, you notice that he's actually probably not the type of Mistran dwarf like you know that you might know. He seems to be like a southern dwarf, so maybe somewhere from around Lavar, maybe. But anyway, he looks up and he sort of just nods to you as you enter.
Can I just say, before anything, you have a fantastic beard. Just want to get that out of the way.
Thank you very much. What can I do for you?
Can I kind of pull out the crossbow? I was wondering what you could tell me about this. And
He like looks
kind of
over.
needs fixing.
Yeah, this is it's quite a good design. I gotta say though that I haven't seen a design quite like this in quite a while. It's a little obsolete now. There's newer designs which have just as much draw power and half the weight. This one packs a punch though if you get it up and working.
Alright, cool.
I personally, I mean, I could fix it for you. It might take a while, and you know, and like he like holds out his hand a little bit and rubs his fingers together. Bit of money.
How long are you saying?
A couple of weeks.
I don't think we'll be here for a couple weeks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've got 400 swords to maintain and repair here.
You are a very busy dwarf.
Yeah, it's just me, so. Anyway,
Well,
yeah, sorry I can't be of
thanks
more help
anyway.
than that.
No, it's no bother. It's no bother. Thanks anyway.
if you'd like to make it as a charitable donation to the fort, I'm sure the governor, I'm sure the captain would appreciate it.
I'll think about that on the way back.
Very well. Okay, well, yeah, I'm here if you need anything else.
Cheers.
Okay, is there anyone else doing anything? Roxanne, what are you doing?
Not anything particular. I suppose just sort of resting. Not
Yeah,
doing
same.
anything in particular.
I'll just rest, maybe resting while looking out at the fog, trying to see if there's anything weird I can spot.
Okay, currently nothing really seems to be moving in the fog at all.
Oh, okay.
Scrimshaw, doing anything?
I think just kind of waiting for us to all get back together.
Okay.
We need to have a rest, right?
I think we've had one, but I think we arrived here towards the end of the day as well.
Yeah, so you probably want to spend the night here.
Yeah.
Your accommodations are suited for all of you, and you can have some time to sort of chat amongst yourselves if you want.
Does that mean mine's just like a chair
Yeah, pretty
in a corner
much.
somewhere?
Nice.
Yeah, it's not the most like beautiful room. It's quite cold. There's a big fire like burning, and there's a lot of wolf pelts and sort of bear pelts that you can sort of wrap up nice and warm under. But it is, a guest quarters of a dingy keep in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. So it's not a luxury hotel. But there is like cooking utensils and stuff on the fire, so you can cook yourself some food. But yeah, so you all reconvene.
Is that in the morning, yeah? Or are we in the
No,
evening?
just in the
And
evening.
okay, cool. Yeah.
So tomorrow,
Aye.
when we go in there, whenever we end up in there, what's the plan here?
What do you mean?
What do we think? What do we think he's going to ask of us, and how would we respond?
Well, Badran's been brought up. I would like to get whatever info he has on him before anything bad before anything bad for him happens, I should say. But maybe if we keep him talking about that.
Well,
What if we, get in, enter his throne room and he just says, "Ah, I didn't think you'd be stupid enough to actually come. I'm just going to kill you now."
well, I don't think that's true. He does wish to hire us after all.
I mean, you saw how easy Badran got into VL. If he wanted us dead, he could have sent how many gods know how many scions after us at once to kill us.
That is true.
I think Naruzatar is playing a very long game here. We are but mere... I won't use the analogy again, but I'm sure you could understand what I'm going to say.
I mean, he wants to become like a god, right? He probably sees us as very much beneath him. He probably doesn't care if we live or die.
Yeah, but I think he thinks that we're going to be useful for him, so he'll want to keep us alive.
I agree.
Like to be clear, I don't think he would do that.
Yeah, otherwise we would not have come.
Yeah, I just, we need to be prepared for whatever eventuality. Like whether he is, what if he offers
It's a
some
lich,
ultimatum that's something we are not willing to do?
Well, I think that
What
he
if
just
he-
wants us out the way, right? So he can go and find the stone.
If I don't mind interjecting, I recall back in that pub in Viel, you mentioned the fact that Naruzatar had custody of an elder box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't question how it happened. I'm sure it happened in a perfectly legitimate reason. You are just 4 people after all. But, potentially, this fog or something could be related to that.
I mean, like, usually elder boxes are related to divinity, and well, my god used it, and he became a god, but he got stuck in a mountain. I think if Neruzatar found a way to use the elder box, he would prefer to find some way to make him a god, rather than make weird fogs everywhere.
Okay. Interesting challenge, Gothric.
Yeah, I think we should just go and find out what's going on.
Do we have a plan if things go south?
Run away.
Shoot.
I mean something more concrete.
Run away and shoot.
I like that plan.
I mean, yeah, like I think it's important to discuss this given what happened on the road, where
You mean with the
Some-
fangs?
no, I mean earlier than that with Ashen,
Oh, yeah.
where we had some kind of mixed intentions between us, and it nearly got one of us killed.
Are we all looking at Mortar at this point?
There was a glance over to Mona. Yeah, if we'd been on the same page, one way or the other, then I think things would have gone a lot more smoothly there. And
I mean, it went pretty smoothly, I would say.
Yeah, I think it went okay.
I profusely disagree.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Illyriel's a long way away now.
I don't mean to be rude, but I'm not sure I would be here if the storm did not will it, and I certainly did not appreciate that lack of honor that was displayed by certain
But wouldn't-
members.
Lack of honor? You're the one that just gave yourself up. What honor is there in that?
There's honor in reasonable combat, not in sneak attacks.
Was it a
What if
sneak
the
attack?
storm will?
I
What if
don't-
the storm
I don't,
wanted a sneak attack?
I don't think she was very sneaky about it.
Yeah, there's literally nothing sneaky about it. And also, even if I was being sneaky about it, what's the problem if they've done something wrong? Some people just need to die.
I very much agree with this. There are a lot of people
I
that need
agree.
death.
You're just kind of
Like, what if the storm willed Morna to do the thing?
Yeah.
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 perhaps.
Gotcha there.
But you do not understand, though. The storm is much grander scale than just simple fights. I don't think it would particularly mind my option. In that situation, I defer to my bloodline on the content of my character for my interaction that day.
What? You defer to your bloodline?
Yes.
Okay, what does that mean?
Well, look at me.
You're a dragonborn?
Yes, indeed. We are honor, pure distilled.
And what do humans? What's in their bloodline?
Well, I mean, there are good parts. You can be resourceful, innovative.
What about orcs?
Well, hold on. I haven't got to the bad points about humans yet. Humans can be guileful, sinful, prideful, malignant, weak, cowardly, and sneaky.
Ooh.
Ooh, I wouldn't say sneaky is a bad thing.
I don't know.
I'd say it's
I thought
actually
you were,
showing a remarkable amount of cunning.
Oh, somebody read the Odyssey. Sorry, go on. This is not my opinions of humans have been morphed by our activities together so far, so I can somewhat see the need for a more subtle approach to things. But rest assured, these are people's lives, and it is worth we treat them as humans and not just means.
So what are the bad points about a dragonborn then?
Garrett just kind of like huffed.
I know I can think of a few.
Ooh.
Are there, wait, are there
No,
none?
no.
By your measure, are there none? Would you say they're somewhat of a master race?
No, I don't think any race is a master race.
Gothric is in the corner just sipping water and just eyeing everyone like, what the fuck is going on?
We can be prideful and stubborn, but I don't see that as a, you know, I think I see it as necessary. Now have at it. Your problems are Dragonborns, please. Let's all get it out in the open, and then we can move on and work together.
Well, I've
better.
only met one Dragonborn so far.
No, you've met us. You've met two. One of them was in that weird sex shop with the glue.
Oh yeah, thanks. I've only met two Dragonborn before.
Wait, was that Dragonborn in that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked one of
Nice.
them.
Ooh.
It's okay. She does not have to like me. I'm quite okay with that.
I like you, Gira. I put my thumbs up.
Well, that's a kind thing of you to say, but I hope my actions are the important part.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Yeah.
Going back to Scrimshaw's original question, how do we intend to conduct ourselves as a group in a tricky situation in the future?
Yeah, it's
We
always
have like a
difficult
call
to-
sign.
yeah, like a what's the opposite of a safe word? A danger word.
Danger sentence.
You could just say danger.
Yeah,
Danger,
it might be a
danger.
bit conspicuous if one of
Stranger
us
danger,
starts
stranger
shouting
danger.
stranger danger.
Danger.
Well, one of us could start talking about that time we went to a sex shop.
Stunned silence.
we all go to Naruzata. We're all sat down having a lovely chat. Hey, Naruzata, you want to talk about that one time we went to a sex shop?
In Lasagna. A gnome.
But what if you get drunk
I
and you
don't-
just start talking about that with him anyway, and then
And
then
then
we
everyone
just,
gets into a
we all
fight.
just attack.
Luckily, I don't get drunk.
Mm.
I'm one with my body and mind. Okay, that was a joke, just to be clear. We could say Clive. Start talking about Clive. How's that? No, maybe we don't want him to know about Clive.
No,
Oh,
that
he
comes
definitely
up
knows
too
about
often.
Clive. Yeah, that's fair. What
He's
about?
too powerful for Naruzata to get his hands on.
That's true. Too cute. Too cute to die.
Too cute to die.
I don't know.
Bring up that one time Roxanne fought a mammoth.
No, because he'll tell that anyway.
Oh shit! We all have a shared language.
How about
Common.
we make a reference to a broccoli soup loaf?
Okay, fine. All right, broccoli soup loaf it is.
What exactly does that mean?
Well, it sounds like a food.
No soup.
Sounds like a food.
Soup is liquid, right? And a loaf is usually bread, which is solid. So maybe that doesn't work. But I know it could
Well,
be
could you
a
not just
loaf flavored like broccoli soup. Okay, right,
could you
I
not
get
just reduce the soup down and just have a loaf of it? Would that not
it.
be
Oh,
not be tasty to you?
me? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, fine. Okay, yeah, we'll say that. Wait, it doesn't have to be tasty. We just need to talk about it.
Right.
Okay, so
So our danger word is broccoli soup.
No, broccoli soup loaf.
Broccoli soup loaf.
And to be clear, what if one of us is to bring up the term broccoli soup loaf? What is the action there? Is that the attack word? That's the signal for us to all leap into action and.
Yes, this is.
No, I thought it was going to be the signals that to make sure everyone knows that we know something is wrong, that something's wrong here. It could be the danger signal. Okay, there's danger. Everyone be on the lookout.
Okay.
Well, I fear we might be saying this an awful lot.
We don't need a code word for attack. We can just say attack because they're going to know that we're going to attack.
Well,
start attacking.
I point your memory back to a few days ago.
Yeah.
Well, apparently we needed to confer with everyone before we attacked.
No, we didn't. We just attacked, and we still. I just attacked, and we still won. It was fine. My plan worked.
Yeah, I mean, it would have gone a little more smoothly if we'd been acting.
Well, maybe
in
if you had all
unison.
listened to me in the first place.
I mean, Gaetan's dead. Ashen died? Question mark.
Body went into the ground.
He will be back.
He will be back.
That
And
seemed
that
like
orc
a
died.
puppet.
Yeah. I mean, that seemed like a win for us. I congratulate you, Morna, on your fast thinking skills. Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, usually my action plan for whenever anything happens is to stay well back and shoot things. I don't really know what else I can suggest here.
Well, they might take all our weapons away from us, so remember that, guys. Be prepared.
Good luck to them.
Yeah, I know, same, right? Unless they cut my hands off, which I guess they could do. Well, they ain't got feet. Unless they cut my body apart, but then I would be able to fight anyway.
That's just killing you.
Yeah, so I guess I can't really.
Ew.
Right,
The
shall we?
Rusatar's like a wizard, right? He probably has his own way of doing this.
Yeah, well, I mean, remember, everything that we say, he could probably hear, because he can probably swear on us, so
Cool, so he knows the danger word.
yeah. But, it doesn't matter.
So if we say broccoli loaf soup, we attack.
No! Broccoli soup loaf, we know that there is
Yeah.
danger, and we
Broccoli
need to
soup.
look out.
Loaf.
It is a loaf of broccoli soup, not
So
a soup consisting of broccoli loaf. Don't be absurd.
broccoli loaf
To be
soup.
fair, I think broccoli loaf soup would be nicer.
What, just
But-
broccoli loaf
I-
ground up into a soup?
Oh, wait. What's broccoli?
So-
No! Broccoli soup with bread in it, like croutons.
Why don't I just tell them the time about the mammoth?
Yeah, but you're going to say that anyway, aren't you?
No, I'll tell the giant story if nothing's wrong.
Okay, fine.
And
then
maybe
broccoli soup
a new
loaf
story that
can
I
be
have
the
to
attack.
do.
I don't know. I think that comes up too often for it to be the danger word.
What's that? The giant story.
Also, what if
either.
you don't notice the danger? Oh, I suppose we could say, hey, why don't you tell the story about the mammoth if there's danger? Not now. Don't leap up now, but...
It was me and my.
Okay, right. Shall we go to bed? And then in the
Yeah.
morning, we can head off. And remember, danger, and then our attack. Right, broccoli soup loaf, is that going to be our attack word now? Or is that not? Or runaway word? Or is
I
that
think
not
that's-
included?
I think that's
Can
just
we-
the danger word.
can
Be
we
on
make it-
guard. Something
So
Okay.
what's
wrong.
the attack word?
I thought broccoli soup loaf was the attack word. And
How about broccoli soup loaf is the danger word,
right.
and then broccoli loaf soup is the attack word.
I don't think this is a good idea because there are some people in this
I-
party that would definitely mix that
I
up.
will definitely mix that up,
No,
and I will attack
there's-
or not
If there's
attack.
danger, we're gonna get Roxon to tell the mammoth story. If we need to attack, we're gonna say broccoli soup loaf, right?
Okay.
Why don't... What? Why don't we just say attack if we're going to attack?
Okay,
So
and
we want
broccoli
to get-
soup loaf could be run away.
No, because if you say attack, then they're going to be more ready for it. If you just attack like without saying anything, they're like, "Whoa!"
Broccoli soup loaf! Ah!
But then they'll
This is
just be like,
getting
"Wait, what?"
needlessly complicated.
You know, you don't just shout out the word broccoli soup loaf. You know, that's not how these words work. They're covert. You know, you might say, "Oh, that broccoli loaf soup is really not sitting well in my
Broccoli
stomach."
soup! Look, wait, no, yeah, you are right! Oh, it's too complicated!
Should we just shorten it to broccoli soup?
No, because what if they serve broccoli soup to us while we're there?
Right.
What if
Then we know that they know.
if there's broccoli soup, do I attack them?
No,
Oh, for goodness
only
sake.
if there's broccoli soup loaf, I think.
I thought that was the danger word, not the attack word. I thought the attack word is when I talk about the mammoth.
No, it's the other way around.
Wait, I thought
That's-
that was. Where's Gideon when you need him? He's pretty hard.
He's the
Smart enough
clever
to figure
one.
this out.
It's like we need a dwarf or something, and he would have figured this out, I reckon.
Should we
Kira, what do you think?
Gira's fallen asleep.
Yeah. I just assume at this point that Gira's like constantly napping.
Pretty much.
I mean, he's not going to know the safe word.
Yep.
No, the danger word.
Should we just forget about it? We'll do it how we've always done it.
Yeah.
Because it's worked so far.
Do you just roll a d100 at the end of on every long rest to see if Gira actually wakes up?
What if he dies
I mean,
in his sleep?
That's the risk when you're old.
Yeah.
It's just all about that. Just
Yeah,
rolling
if
a
anyone
1d100.
plays an old character, every long rest might be your last.
This might be the longest rest.
Oh no!
Oh.
Gira? Gira? He's gone!
It's like, oh god, I'm so anticlimactic.
Oh god, he should have said.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we go to bed, guys? Does anyone want to
Yeah.
keep watch? Shall we keep watch?
I mean, we're all in our own rooms, right?
Yeah, like you might be two to a room or something.
All right. I'll go. Let's just go to sleep.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
So the night passes. Not much happens. You get a full good night's sleep. Wake up the next day to see quite an overcast sky. Quite a small like little bit of snow falling as you get up. But it's not too cold just yet. You know, you're starting to come out of summer now. It's going to get colder, but this is probably as warm as it's going to be for a while. Yeah, you reconvene in the morning. Is there any last sort of things you wanted to do?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't want to talk about broccoli anymore.
There's no magisters you have to go and see or anything?
No
I thought we were
libraries, is it?
I thought he was. Wait,
Yeah,
Magister.
the plan was to go speak to Magister when we were going to leave, right?
I
suppose
mean,
we
we
should probably
could
give him some
anyway.
warning.
Yeah. We should also
Yeah,
probably
well,
find
okay. Yeah, I
Daryl.
guess go find the Magister, see if when he's actually free.
Okay.
We just kind of assumed that he's
He's just going to be
available.
ready.
at our whim. He's just an NPC standing there waiting for us to show up, and
With a big exclamation mark above his head.
yeah.
Okay, so looking around, you head to the Magister's quarters. There's a lot of books scattered in the hallway outside the room you're led to, which is Daryl's sort of quarters, his lab. Like the whole hallway is covered in books, which are, you know, each page is underlined and annotated. Little bookmarks and bits of ribbon are sort of separating almost every page. As you like knock on the door, you hear it's like a shuffling from within the room, and you hear a bang, and you hear him go, "Ow!" And then he sort of goes, "Ah, get here, you little shit!" And you hear like some sort of like some sort of scuffle almost happening in the room as like he's sort of, I don't know, he's just almost being thrown around. It sounds.
Broccoli loaf.
Nice, you did it. Yeah, cool.
Does that mean I attack? Do I now
No.
attack?
No.
No.
That means there's
I
danger.
pull out my guns.
No.
Maybe we
Garrett,
should
put
pitch
away
this word.
Gira knocks on the door.
You keep hearing like whoever's inside. Sort of, it sounds like a lot of very frantic shifting of furniture, chairs being thrown over. Another bang. You hear another one. You hear someone else inside. Well, you hear the same voice going, "Ow, fuck, get in!"
I'm gonna knock as well. And do you need some help in there?
2 seconds.
Okay.
Actually, no. Come in. Yeah, I need your help.
Okay, I
Okay.
bash through the door.
Okay.
Bash through the door.
Kick the door down.
Yeah.
I need help.
Are you going to try and kick the door down?
No. I meant
it's
just,
open.
I meant open it dramatically, like bash through it, not like actually knock it down.
Okay. You open the door and you see probably like maybe a magister in their mid-30s wearing sort of long, sort of scuffed old grey cloak that magisters tend to wear. Sort of sprawled on the floor, clutching something in his hand really, really tight, and sort of like covered in rats, like all over him. And in one hand he's got like a pair of scissors, and he's sort of just lying there. And he says, "Quick, come in, don't let them out."
Alright.
Quickly close the door.
Okay, so you
Everyone's
all go in. He's like just like wrestling with a couple of rats. They're fairly large and they seem like wild rats. And he's like, help me here. There's maybe like 5 or 6 on the ground. He's like, round them up. Come on, they've escaped.
Sure, I grab one.
Quest
I grab a-
accepted.
Okay. Yeah, like everyone make a dexterity check for me.
Alright.
This is gonna go well.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh fuck!
All right. So Roxanne
I
and
catch the plague.
so Scrimshaw.
My food just came, so I'll be right back.
Okay, for sure. So Scrimshaw, Morna, and Gira, Gira is surprising. You sort of step with your foot, and it just catches the rat's tail, and you sort of bend over and like pick it up. Morna and Scrimshaw, you manage to grab the rats, but Roxanne and Gothric, they like slip through your palm, and one of them beelines for the door, which you've closed, but you notice that the door's like caught on something that as you came through the door and like quickly hastily closed the door, like a rat skitters through the door and like into the corridor.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, so you see the Magister on the ground, like grabbing one rat and pulling it like really close to himself, and is trying to cut his hair with scissors. And he's like, "These damn rats! They've always got such long hair."
Are those rats important?
Well, not particularly. I thought that they might as well be stylish whilst they're here.
Are you okay?
Yes. Ow! And like another rat bites him on the leg. And he like stands up. He's like, "I'll get you next." And he like throws one of the rats into a little cage, like the rat he was just cutting the hair of, and he sort of begins scurrying after the other one that just bit him. After a few moments, he like picks it up and looks up at you guys, and he goes, "Can I help you?"
We believe. Are you the Magister here?
Yes, I am Daryl. And he like one by one starts coming up to you and grabbing the rats off you and like putting them back in the cage.
That's nice to meet you. We were told by we were told by Oldar that you might be willing to escort us across the bridge at some point. He said that you're very familiar with the customs in Carnia, so you might prevent us from committing any faux pas in this slightly tense.
Yes. I actually wrote my thesis on Carnian customs. I have not yet been there, but I learnt everything from a couple of very old textbooks, but I assure you I am quite the expert in at least what we know about Kanye. He walks up to you and he goes, "Hang on a second." And he knocks on your head, he goes, "Is that a mask?"
Of sorts.
Oh, I wasn't speaking in metaphors. We all carry a mask with us, but and he looks around you and he goes, "You're not made of flesh."
Nope. I think it's sort of wood, mostly, and some other bits that I'm not 100% sure they are. But
you you hear a striking of a match, and then you feel a little burning pain right next to your head, and he's just holding it.
Why would you do that?
He's like, "I was interested in seeing whether you were actually made of wood."
Were you just trying to light me on fire?
I was trying to see how combustible you were.
I mean, your hair's combustible. I don't light that on fire.
That gives me a good... Yeah, that gives me a good idea. And he lights another match and tries to hold up to your beard.
I cast Prestidigitation to try and snuff out the match.
Okay. He's like, oh, wow.
Gira hobbles forward and kind of pushes the Magister a bit and says, "Mind your place."
Whoa, hold on. I meant no offense. I'm purely interested into seeing the composition of your friend's body.
Well, it's no business of yours.
If you carry on.
I meant no offense, of course. I apologize. And he turns to you, Scrimshaw, and sort of bows really dramatically. And he sort of looks up at you and says,
"It's okay. Just no more trying to burn me."
Very well.
Okay.
If anyone's gonna burn Scrimshaw, it's me.
Yeah. Wait. What?
Thank you for catching. And he looks at the cage and goes, "What escaped? Where is it?" And he frantically looks around.
I think one of them went out into the hallway.
And he immediately dashes out into the hallway. And
I'm gonna run out and try and help him.
Yeah, I just turn to Morna, just seems you.
Okay, right. I'm gonna run out and try and catch the rat.
There's a stack of you just see basically as you go out the door, because he beelines for the door so quickly. Honestly, to you, Scrimshaw, it looks like he's cast Expeditious Retreat on himself to rush as fast as he can. He almost blinks out of the door, and you hear a bang as he runs full speed into one of the piles of books. And so as Moni, you come out, you see him just his legs sticking out a big pile of books, flailing quite wildly. Make a perception check for me, Mona. Yeah, unfortunately you can't see the rat anywhere.
Can I minor illusion the rat in the cage?
I mean, he can't currently. He's in the book, so he wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah, I'll help him get up. And
okay. He's like, "Where is it? Where is it?"
I don't know, but we really need you to come to Carnia. Is that going to be okay?
Oh, that rat. It's not the right time for him to leave.
Oh, I think it is the right time.
That's a very alarming thing to say.
Why isn't it the right time for him to leave?
Because I hadn't given him a haircut yet.
Oh, I actually think that long hair is really in at the moment. Look at mine. It's not very long, it's shoulder length, but I'm gonna wave it around.
You could use a haircut, maybe, Morna. Maybe the hairdresser over here can help you out.
Oh, that's my job.
Yes.
No. I'm alright, thanks.
I can do it if you want.
No, it's alright, everyone. I cut my own hair. If you can't tell, I like the way it looks.
Yeah, you should.
Stop
you should
it!
Probably, you should probably let me do that.
It's a bit uneven.
Yeah, a good hairdresser, even a good hairdresser doesn't cut their own hair.
I mean, compared to orcish hairstyles, it's pretty alright.
Thank you.
I don't have any hair, so...
Yeah, can we all maybe stop critiquing my hair now and move on to the actual problem?
I'm just saying.
What's the actual problem?
Well, we need to find your rat so you can give it a haircut.
Oh, are you actually entertaining this Philistine?
Well, what do you say?
Philistine?
Right here!
A what?
I resent that statement.
I don't even know the meaning of the word.
I don't
Neither do I.
Like it came out of nowhere.
even as Mike.
Well, how about this? You help me find my rat, and yes, I'll come out with you to Carnea.
Okay, fine. Team, let's
Very
go.
well. Whilst you're looking for it, I'm going to go pack my bag.
Okay.
And he storms off into his room.
I guess we split up and look for rats.
One rat. One apparently very
Specific
hairy
rat.
rat.
Were they bigger than natural?
Sorry,
Roxanne.
they look.
The rat that got
They
away,
just look like
or
big
could we
wild
just
rats.
So in theory, we just need to find a rat.
Yeah, potentially.
Really?
Right.
You
the
can probably
rat
tell which rat it is.
All right.
Are we all
okay.
splitting up and doing it?
Yeah. Is anyone going in teams or?
I'll go
No,
with Goffric. Go Goffric.
I'll go
Team
with
Brute.
Alright.
Scrimshaw.
Hoorah!
So I suppose that leaves me with our new friend.
Yes, it does.
You both like magic. I'm sure you'll get on.
Look at this way. Look at this way, Gira. You're a lot more patient, and if I went with him, there won't be a him when we come back.
I wonder if there's any demons that could aid us in finding a rat.
Um,
Well,
We don't
summon
need demons.
Can't you just summon a rat?
Rats aren't demons, right?
I mean, some might be.
I'm afraid my summoning is exclusively limited to demons.
Does hell have rats? They
Let's
have
give me a way I
mosquitoes.
need 'em.
A hell rat sounds like something that might exist.
I mean, they got mosquitoes, so
You didn't
of course
specify
they have.
what kind
How
of
about-
rat.
When you end up in hell, you can invent one.
Okay.
When I-
Wait, what?
Wait, who are you speaking to there?
I just said it out, not aimed at anyone. Can we go and find these rats?
okay, so who's going off with each other?
I'll go with Scrimshaw.
I'm going with
I'm
Goffric.
with Roxanne.
Okay, so Scrimshaw and Morna make perception checks for me. Is there anything you wanted to say whilst you're like going around the castle looking for rats?
Wow, Gira's a bit annoying, isn't he?
I mean, what makes you say that?
You know, just telling me what to do. Not minding his own business, that kind of thing.
I don't know. It was a conversation. Everyone's giving their own 2 cents.
Hmm.
Or their own 2 copper.
That's funny.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get back to the results of people's perception checks in a bit, but who's next? Roxanne and Gira? Oh no, Roxanne
No,
and,
no,
and
Roxanne
Gothric.
and Gothric.
Oh yeah, is there
Wait,
anything you...
Is Gira a copper dragonborn?
Bronze, isn't he?
Yeah, bronze.
Bronze.
Perception.
Bronze. The best.
Is there anything you
Oh.
wanted to talk about whilst you're like going around? Like,
What
the...
was?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, what was the word again? Broccoli loaf. Broccoli soup loaf.
Broccoli soup loaf.
Was it loaf broccoli soup? Oh no.
It was broccoli.
Why couldn't we just made it so simple?
Like attack.
Well, no, because attack is the mammoth story, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe we just say attack? Maybe we just start attacking. I'll tell you what, if we think we need to attack, how about me and you just agree that we're just going to attack?
I mean, I was going to anyway.
Yeah, I mean, me too, but like, at least at least I have someone on side for it.
You know, you just have to agree with these people sometimes so that they they feel like something's going on, but really just do your own thing.
They feel that we're being calculated, however, we are just going to start swinging at the first sign of trouble.
Exactly.
Look how far it's got. I mean, it's gotten us this far.
Exactly.
What could possibly go wrong?
Don't ever say that out loud. Never say that out loud.
Okay, so it's broccoli loaf soup. Got it.
Broccoli loaf soup.
Yes.
Okay. Gira, you're with the Magister, Daryl. However, he's like not leaving the room. He's just like packing his bag, and he's just sort of muttering under his breath. He said, "Wow, first time in Carnir, and I have to be with a bunch of people who don't respect me enough."
Yara kind of raises an eyebrow. First time, is it?
Yes, I've been here for a little while, but personally, I really like the chance to go to Carnir sometime. So, maybe we can make a holiday of it.
What do you intend to get from this little adventure?
Well, hopefully more rats.
You really like rats, don't you?
Well, they are a lot friendlier than a lot of people, especially up here in the cold.
Well, I can certainly agree with that one, including myself to you right now.
You don't seem like the others. You're a Dragonborn, right?
Yes, that is correct. Not many of us around.
No, when I was at the Arcanum, there was a Dragonborn Grand Magister. Well, I assume there still is.
Oh, yes. I've not heard of this before.
Yes, Grand Magister's Darzel. Anyway, yeah, you remind me of him somehow.
Well, it's very kind, but I'm sure this Grand Magister knows far more than I do. After all, I can't really remember much, to be perfectly honest.
I see. Why?
Oh, that's the 1 million platinum question, isn't it? I don't know why.
Maybe you have some sort of block on your memory. There's spells that can do such things.
I mean, I see the odd glimmer now and again, but this will certainly be an interesting path to go down. You don't happen to know a spell, do you?
I know spells that can do it. I assume just general healing sort of. I don't really know. I don't know enough about those sort of spells. I was never very good at doing spells when I was in the Arcanum. It's mostly my knowledge which got me my position. And not a great position at that, considering I am here.
Well, I think you've done a grand job, even if your ways are a little unorthodox.
Well, yeah, right, bag's packed. And like as he sort of slams the bag down on the table, he says, "Don't move. It's on your shoulder." And like you can feel like a rat scurrying at your shoulder.
Gira, like, I don't know, kind of as a reaction, almost like gets a little bit shocked by it, and literally like casts like a mini shock.
It collapses on the ground, sort of twitching, and like Darrell rushes over and goes, "No!" As he does that, both Gothric and Morna and Scrimshaw and Roxon all come back, and Gothric and Morna both have a rat in their hands. And he like looks up and he goes, "Oh, okay. You got twice as many."
I'm awfully sorry. It rather surprised me.
You are more powerful than you probably expect then if you're killing things like that without thinking.
It's not my power, it's all borrowed.
Huh. He looks up and he says, "Well, it took the rest of you long enough, didn't it,
Okay.
Hey, we tried.
Well, exactly.
Like 2 minutes.
He like takes the rats off your hands and sort of looks them over. I think these ones are okay. I remember these ones having a haircut not that long ago, and he puts them in the cage. Well, are we planning on going then?
Well, is someone going to come in and feed those rats while we're away? Because you might get back and find them all dead.
Oh no, rats just eat each other.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. There'll be one really big fat rat left.
Okay, great.
That's how I've selectively bred them to be so big.
Right.
Huh.
All right. Should we go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's leave with Daryl.
Come on, Daryl.
Okay. So you make your way out. Just a sec. Okay, I'm back. You make your way out into the courtyard, where Oldar is just sort of waiting, ready to see you off. He's dressed in his usual attire with the sword, but this time the sword is like sort of out, resting on the ground, with both hands on it, on the hilt. Welcome back. I hope you had a good night.
Oh, we did. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
Very well. The bridge. And he sort of nods to a couple of the guards to open the gates. This gate is the one that goes straight onto the bridge, and you see that sort of fog has rolled a couple of meters into the bridge on the other side. So you before you got to the other side, you'd be starting to walk into the fog. He says, "I hope you haven't changed your mind."
Nah.
We are supposed to be met soon by an associate of sorts, so we hope to not be too long.
Very well.
Hopefully we'll see you in a bit.
Well, yes, of course. I await your return.
We might be a little older by the time we get back.
He is just completely straight faced blanking you.
Okay. I leave.
Daryl sort of whispers in your ear, "I quite liked that."
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so you guys make your way out of the fort, and on first steps onto the stone bridge is very sturdy. This bridge has been here for a long time. You see a few stones have sort of been knocked off over the years, so the sort of sides of the bridge aren't on as strongly as you'd hope, but the actual bridge itself is strong enough. You start to make your way up. Is there a particular marching order you're going in, or you just at the other side of the bridge? You see there's these large sort of black wood gates with sort of a gatehouse and a couple of figures who are stood on the other side, unmoving, just maybe just watching you.
I'll go first.
I'm curious. Who's responsible for maintaining the bridge?
Are you asking Older?
Yes.
We are responsible for our own sides. We meet occasionally, every 5 years or so, if the maintenance is needed. Meet in the centre and come to some sort of agreement. But crossing the bridge is generally not done very much. Well, at all.
Any advice for dealing with the people of Carnia?
Don't live there. But, other than that...
Well, I'll be sure to tell them that.
Don't live here. It's terrible.
Are there any particular social faux pas we may not be familiar with?
Oldar just shakes his head, shrugs his shoulders.
I look at Daryl. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I know that Naruzatar is a very big fan of red wine. Oh, or is it blood? The pictures aren't so clear.
Well, so we get him 1 bottle of blood, we get him 1 bottle of red wine. You never know.
Yeah. More in terms of general population, not specifically Ruztar himself.
Well, how many people are you planning on speaking to?
I don't know. I'm probably going to be here for
A while.
a little while.
He looks over to Uldar and says, "I thought we were just going over for the day." And Uldar's like, "You ought to be with them for as long as they wish." And he goes, "Oh, I would have brought some rats with me if I knew that."
I kind of whisper into Scrimshaw's ear. Is he sending him with us just to get rid of him, or...
I thought he was just coming with us across the bridge and then going back.
Oh,
I think they just want to get rid of him.
Well, I did until now, anyway.
What are we whispering about?
I think they just want to get rid of Daryl.
Yes, they definitely do just want to get rid of Daryl.
Wait,
Hey,
what
Daryl.
what was that?
Let's just
Nothing.
say you might
Nothing,
get a
Daryl.
chance to figure out whether or not Ruztar likes red wine or blood. Hobbles along.
You just hear a sigh behind you. Okay, so
Daryl's
you
gonna
guys
die.
make your first steps onto the bridge. Sort of slowly make your way across.
is it creaky?
No, the bridge isn't creaky. It's made of solid stone. Feels very sturdy, actually. It's good.
Would be concerning if it was creaky.
Yeah.
How big
Especially
is the
with
bridge?
A stone bridge that's creaky is.
It's about 20 feet. It's 20 feet wide and 90 feet across.
Okay.
So it's pretty sturdy. It's like a big, thick bridge.
Nice.
It's like pretty much basically it's designed so that columns of infantry can walk down it without any hassle. So,
Okay.
Okay, so you make your way across the bridge. Obviously, not a very particularly long journey, but you step into the fog and you feel its sort of cool breeze, sort of lingering on your skin. There's maybe as you come up to the walls, you see maybe three scions who are just unmoving on the tops of the walls, and as you get closer and closer to the gate, it still isn't open. Like the gate isn't opening. No one's shouted down anything.
Can I run up the top and run up the wall?
How
tall-
Yeah. The walls are maybe 40. They're probably about 30 feet high.
I'm gonna run up to the top and talk to one of the scions.
Okay, you run up to the top of the wall, and there is a scion just stood like right where you hop up and that you hadn't initially seen. Its sort of suit of armor is quite scary, but it's still unmoving and just and not even looking at you as you like sort of are to its side. It's just still looking out across the bridge.
Okay. Is there any way to open the bridge on the top? Like open the gate?
Daryl shouts up. He says, "What's going on up there?"
There's nothing here. Just some like suits of armor.
Make a perception check for me before you tell that there's nothing up there. You notice that these are not just suits of armor. Any flesh that is showing on these scions is no longer flesh. It seems to be some sort of stone.
Oh, they're stone people in suits of armor. I'll see if I can figure out a way to open the gate.
There's on the top of the gatehouse. There's like a big wheel, which like maybe 2 or 3 people would open the gate with.
Scrimshaw, do you want to come up here on your carpet, or Gira or someone?
Is this not a bit rude?
Well, no one's here to let us in.
I mean, we haven't even knocked.
All right, knock.
Okay. I'll walk up to the gate and give it a knock.
There's no reply.
How strange. Eston Jafaris was supposed to meet us here.
Yeah. Is that Scion like right in front of you? What is he just staring out? Is he okay? Does he need medical attention?
Can I try and take his helmet off?
Yeah, you take his helmet off and you see once again the familiar figure of a human face with the eyes removed and instead in its place like two large nails sort of like bashed through its head and like out the other side, and the helmet sort of catches the black full plate helm catches as you take the thing off on those spikes, but you manage to like wriggle it around a bit. But the entire Scion has been turned to stone.
Yeah, they've all been turned to stone. But if you come up here, we can open the gate.
Oh no.
What?
Well, I feel like you're really not reacting to this situation very much.
Morna is literal psychopath.
Oh
no, guys! Everyone's turned to stone.
It's just like, oh, yeah, it's fine. You know, the Scions on this gate have just been petrified.
Oh, I didn't think of that. I thought maybe that they were just here for decoration.
Oh, you thought they were statues?
Yeah.
Morna's playing that low intelligence character.
I mean, I suppose they could be, but I think someone would have answered the gate by now if.
Well, do you want to help me open the gate? Do you think there's a basilisk around, or a Medusa, or something?
Morna.
Have we
what?
encountered? Do we know of Medusas and basilisks?
I suppose probably know of basilisks,
You know,
right?
you know about basilisks.
Not Medusa.
Morna. Nagira kind of shouts up.
Yeah.
Is there any sign of any recent activity? I'm wondering if this petrification is something recent or potentially new.
Is there any sign of movement, or does it
Like
look...
a camp or something? Like fire or
I'm gonna get on the carpet at this point.
Okay, so you fly up to the walls.
Can you help me open the gate?
I'll have a look, see if I can find. Just kind of have a little bird's eye of the area.
All right, make a perception check for me.
Okay, this isn't.
It'll be with
Oh,
disadvantage. Oh no,
a straight roll because
disadvantage.
of my shield.
Are we in the fog
Oh,
now?
Yeah, you are in the fog now.
Is it dim light?
Yeah, but it's pretty much dim light up here anyway because it's so cloudy all the time. Immediately looking up, you can see a cart, like a horse and cart, and a couple of people sat on top. That has also been turned to stone, and there's maybe you can see maybe 5 or 6 people on the walls, and a couple of people out in the courtyard of the fort who aren't moving. So it seems that something has petrified them all, and fairly instantly, because all of them don't look like worried or shocked in any way as to what's happening.
Judging by Badran's facial expressions, though, like when we saw him last, is that just normal? Like, do our Scions just unfeeling machines?
I mean, not everyone here is a Scion. There's only maybe 4 or 5 Scions here, from what you can see. The rest are either guards or servants of some sort, or members of the ministry. But yeah, that's all you can see from flying around. Helping Morna open the gates, you guys sort of can come into the courtyard.
Is Alden with us? And
No, Alder didn't come across.
he's gone back. Okay.
Yeah. Daryl sort of is going. I don't think that this is what I expected from Carnea, but maybe this is the welcome they have for us. You know, you can never know. They might have changed their customs quite a lot over the last 100 years.
Do any of them look like the person that was supposed to meet us?
Immediately in the courtyard, no.
Okay. What's his name again? Sorry, I'm just trying to...
Jafaris.
Eston Jafaris. Where is he on my list? He's
So-
not on it.
So we definitely weren't expecting this. Daryl, this does kind of indicate there may be something dangerous in the area. And
Wow.
you don't seem the most capable of defending yourself.
I resent that fully. I have lived up in these mountains for a very long time. But do you know how many bears I've killed whilst taking a shit?
Have you ever seen a basilisk?
Oh, a basilisk? No, they don't live up here.
Well, what could have turned all these people to stone?
He's going to do an Arcana check. He looks at them and says, "Some sort of cataclysmic magical event."
Do you think it could be the fog?
I hope not, because we're breathing it and it's
Yeah,
sunny.
I did think that. Does it taste like regular fog?
Make a perception check. Yeah, I mean, it feels like normal fog, except for there's a slightly greenish hue to it.
Slightly.
But you don't feel any different. There's nothing particularly threatening that's happened. Like all these people, like Daryl goes, all these people have been petrified instantly. If it was the fog, I think that maybe we would not have survived this. You know, if they were slowly being transformed into stone over hours or something of breathing it in, I think that you might have seen some panic on their faces.
Or they would have been like, okay, I'm going to turn stone to let me pull a really funny face.
Or I did see once a whole town that had turned to stone after a volcano, and someone had decided to take the time to lie down and pleasure themselves in their last moments.
Oh my god!
And they were preserved perfectly in stone for the rest of time. It's very interesting to see. Anyway,
That guy sounds like a legend.
to digress, yes, I think that whatever caused this might be connected to the fog, but I don't think it's the fog that is causing it. Personally, that is to say.
Can Gira try and do a message to Eston Jafaris?
Yeah. Give it a try.
We're at the Arat Valley Bridge Fort. Petrification, please come immediately.
Okay. You send it off. There's no response.
I think they have trouble getting messages across Kania anyway, so might not be able to.
Have we met Naruzatar in person?
No.
No.
I was gonna say maybe we could try messaging Naruzatar.
Hey, what up?
Well, actually, Gideon did that before, I think, didn't he? I seem to recall that he tried to message Naruzatar.
Yeah, but it didn't work at it.
Oh, didn't it?
No. Yeah, like looking around the courtyard, currently there's the workings of a quite poor day-to-day sort of border fort, where suddenly every bit of flesh, including like rats that are scurrying across, including birds that are perched up on the walls, they've all turned to stone.
Were there birds that were flying in the air that have fallen down?
Yeah, you see a couple of birds that are on the floor and have crumbled into like a number of parts, and then you hear like a bang as you turn around, and Daryl has knocks one over, and it's like the head's like rolled off. Like he goes, "Whoops!"
Daryl, that was a person.
I know. But
Daryl.
we'll get some glue and fix it, maybe.
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, I'm not being funny, but he didn't seem in perfect shape before he fell apart.
Okay, fine. Should we just carry on and without Eston Jafaris, or should we wait for him here? I don't really know.
You don't think Naruzatar did this, right?
Maybe he
Daryl,
did it to show his strength.
So, just to be clear, Daryl, you know about Kanian. Do you know anything about Kanian art?
In what sense?
Do they like? Is it possible that this is some kind of Kanian art piece?
Possible. Maybe. Practical? No, because this was a working fort until 3 days ago. We could see them
Far
on
as
the
you know.
walls. Well, no, we
Maybe
saw
they
them
thought
on...
this would be a cost-saving measure.
Well, I mean, I literally saw them on the walls 3 days ago, moving around, but... Okay. I mean, maybe your friend is inside the fort. Maybe he was waiting for you.
Well,
I guess.
yeah, I guess we better look. So,
Jump.
yeah, let's have a little search around.
Do you want me
See what
to
we can find.
have a sneak through, see if I can find anything before we all head in there?
Please don't turn to stone.
Well, I'm gonna try not to.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they also didn't want to turn to stone. I don't
Yeah.
really think it's up to you.
Fair. Well, I'll be careful. Can I go invisible and wander around?
Okay, you go invisible.
Have a look through some windows and stuff.
Yeah, the main part of the keep is this sort of like block building with no windows. It's pretty ghastly. It almost seems to be like fashioned out of like one or two big pieces of like black, like basalt or something. I don't know, or granite maybe. Going into the fort itself, all the torches aren't lit currently. They've burnt down. It seems that I mean, they're all cold. So the last couple of days, like, this didn't happen in the last day, basically.
Okay.
But looking around again, you like, occasionally will scare yourself because you're like round a corner and there'll just be like a scion in full armor, just like round the corner and not moving. And you go, and then you realise that again he's just made of stone. Looking around, make a investigation check for me. I mean, what are you looking for particularly?
Oh, just Eston Jafaris.
Okay.
I want to find him.
This is a fairly large building, so it's going to take you a little while. But looking around the sort of the ground floor, there doesn't seem to be much in the way of any like movement or threats in any way. So, like, at least to your mind, it seems safe enough for other people to come in here as well.
Okay, I'm gonna invite the party in. I don't think there's any threats in here. Sorry, uninvisible. I don't think there's any threats in here. You should come in.
I guess, sure.
Keep a
Are there
lookout.
any more statues?
Oh yes, there are a few more. I was thinking maybe we could have a look in the kitchen or something, because if someone was going to hide, that'd be a good place to hide. Because, you know, food and stuff.
You think the food's turned to stone?
Go for it. We've got
the
more
plant-
pressing matters.
Are the plants?
I'm
turned to stone?
hungry, alright? I skipped breakfast.
Is the vegetation in the area turned to stone?
From what you could see in the fog, there were silhouettes of trees. You're not sure whether they turned to stone or not.
I would like to fly up to one of the trees and inspect it.
Okay. The trees itself aren't. They haven't turned to stone.
Are there like animals in the trees that have turned to stone?
Yes.
Ooh.
Fly back and say, yeah, tree's fine. Animals in the tree.
Even
So
like
it turns flesh to stone.
does it
Seemingly.
turn?
Stone?
What about stone to flesh? Well, no, yeah, it does turn bones to stone, doesn't it? Because all the bones were all stone, like when their bird flew out crumbled on the floor and stuff. Well, we can check if there's any meat in the kitchen that's been turned to stone. We can know that maybe it's like an AOE thing.
It could just be
An AoE? What's an AoE?
Area of effect spell.
Ah.
And if it's not, it might be a person in the area.
Did you
Who's
study
something
at
like
the
that.
Arcanum, Lorna?
No?
Oh, you seem to know the lingo of Magister
Yes,
very
well-
well.
I have a friend who was a wizard.
Yeah, I think they refer to them as tags.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
properties.
yeah.
Friend.
Boyfriend. No, I'm kidding. Friend.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
He was kind of whingy.
Yes. Well, should we split up and have a look around the fort, or stay together?
No, I think we
Are
That
should
you-
sounds
stay as
like a wonderful
team.
way to get killed.
Are you suggesting that we split up and look for clues?
I'm suggesting we split up and look for this Estin Jafaris, but if he counts as a clue, then well.
Rel Rimshaw.
How about we go in groups of two, so we don't go alert.
Well,
Okay.
I think we should stay as a group.
Split the
I
group.
agree.
Whatever
Split
did,
the
I
group.
think that whatever did this, we're best sticking together.
Fine.
Okay,
Why
let's take a
so-
break, shall we? And then we can decide like best plan of action whilst we have a break.
Aye, Captain.
All right. Okay. So
All right.
come back in 15 minutes or something. All right. See you in a bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh yeah, we're back. Right, okay, so yeah, before we had our break, you had just arrived at the Carnean side of the border. Upon inspecting the fort, you realised that it seems that everyone inside has been turned to stone in some sort of freak, spontaneous action. What are you doing?
Go to the kitchen and area if we can find it and see if all the meat and bones in there have been turned to stone.
Okay.
Because I feel like then we'd know if it was like a AoE type thing.
Okay.
Or if it,
Make investigation check.
Is that all of us, or?
Mona can make it with advantage.
Woo.
So you wander around for a little bit. You come into the kitchen. You notice that most of the stuff in the kitchen are just like crackers and like barrels of preserved something, like mush of some sort. There's not really much in terms of meat here, or really many vegetables. There's like a tiny bit of like rat on the side, which has turned to stone. But as you know, most of the stuff that happened in here. But I mean, as you go in, there's obviously some sort of cook who's been turned to stone. Midway through, sort of like slopping a bowl of gruel into there, and the bowl of gruel's like gone a little bit moldy now.
Is it like a scion with like an apron saying "kiss the scion"? Or
No,
something?
it's just a regular person. Like there's more than just scions here.
Okay, well, I think judging by the fact this rat is turned to stone, it must have been an effect thing on the area, right? We should just leave.
Well, I mean, it seems to have just happened in a single pass.
Is there an administrative area to this fort? Perhaps there's a log of who came in and out.
Oh, well, you can have a look for one. I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's actually a good idea. I'll go with you.
Oh no, we should stay as a group.
As you say that, you realise Daryl's like disappeared.
Has he actually?
Yeah, he's like wandered off.
Oh, he'll be quite okay. I have a feeling that man always lands on his feet.
Daryl.
Gira, did you throw him from a building? Because it definitely sounds like that's what you just did.
Daryl.
Yes. And he like pops out behind like a couple of like crates that he's been
Have you found
rummaging.
anything?
To find something or anything.
Anything helpful for us finding our way to Carnea?
Yes, I think I may have. And he pulls out a letter that he says, yes, it was stapled to some guy's face in there. And he like points into an office. And like hands over the letter. It's got like a wax seal on it with sort of like two tridents almost crossed over and like a skull in between them. That's what like the wax seal has on it.
Do you know what this symbol represents?
That's the symbol of Narizatar. That's his personal seal.
Oh, cool. So this is a message from Narizatar.
Yes, perhaps. I didn't think of that.
It's a message from Wolfram.
But
Okay.
it's not. It's not. No one's name is written on it, so perhaps we should just leave it where it is. And the intended
Read it.
well, the intended
Can I
recipient would probably want to read it, surely. And it does not say your name on it.
Is intended. Well, I don't have a name.
You don't have a name.
No.
No, you called yourself Morna earlier.
Well, that's not my real name.
What's your real name?
She doesn't have one.
Look, let me just have a look, and I'll stick it back together once I've looked at it. Okay?
Right.
I'm very good at this. Can I use my forgery kit to try and open the letter?
Make a dexterity check with the forgery tool. Okay, you managed to open it. I will show it to everyone.
Yeah.
It's fairly long letter, so I can read it if you guys want, or you guys can read it. Hang on.
Shall I?
Do you want me to read it?
I can't read that many words.
I can read it dramatically if you like.
Sure.
To the Clive Five, it is without doubt a shame that we could not meet to discuss a number of pressing issues that have arisen over the last few years in Orthaid, as originally planned. As you are most likely aware, my personal pursuits over the years have regularly been interrupted by more important work as the owner of the mantle of responsibility of this realm. For 500 years, since the fall of the once great Kyra Concord, I have kept a great number of threats at bay from crossing over into this realm, and have worked to limit the danger of others. To give but one example, the Arashkanas, which you may have known better as Velos or Pietro de Colt. Wait,
Pietro was Velos?
We knew that.
What?
Did we know that?
Yeah.
No.
It was rumored, but it wasn't.
It was. Yeah, I assumed that was confirmed.
Oh.
It was pretty much confirmed.
Oh shit, I did not know that. It was my negotiations in convincing him to give up the Elder Box which allowed you to defeat him. If he had held onto the artifact which you so recklessly gave him... I look awkwardly at Scrimshaw. He might have turned the Dancing Coast into dust, destroying any remnants of your bodies, and nullifying the divine purpose that you have been placed here for.
Brilliant.
You all have me to thank for your success, and until I was betrayed by the Ministry, I was happy to allow you to take credit for my work. I originally wanted to task you with the destruction of my mistake, the Orc Badran, whom I had converted into one of my scions after his death at your hands. I look at Gothric. I admit, I have never attempted to convert a being so full of anger as Badran to my service, and wrongly assumed I would be able to handle such a creature. Losing Badran was my mistake. Showing my vulnerability to the Ministry was my last. I assume that he was petrified alongside everyone else in Carnea, a punishment too kind for such a betrayal. Anyway, I digress. The evidence I submit to my importance as the protector of this realm matters not. For you very well may not believe me. I instead wish now, in light of the betrayal of those who I allowed to prosper, to take a backseat as the protector of Erd. Let's take me to scroll. And hand the mantle of responsibility to you. I will continue to focus on my personal aspirations in peace, in a place you will not find me, and allow you to understand the importance of my work through your own efforts to protect the ones you care about and love. Erd will no longer be my home, as I do not expect it to last long in my absence. The mantle of responsibility is never a choice, rather a challenge to be met under perpetual fear of destruction. To help you in your new task, I will give you a warning. The 4 children will soon arrive to Erd to reclaim what they seek. I have kept them away for 500 years, but I now no longer care for the safety of those who so carelessly conspired to betray and destroy me. There are a multitude of threats to this realm, some of whom are already here, but none live up to such a standard or brutality as those who have had family taken from them. When they arrive, you will surely be the first to know. There, of course, are other threats, which are more immediately pressing. I expect that you will find success with many of them, which may even become some form of practice to help hone your skills for the final assault. I may shed a tear for Erd's destruction, but all I knew and loved died a long time ago. Perhaps we may one day meet, and perhaps not, but one thing is certain, I shall always be watching. 4 by 4 the children walk and scout the realms above her. Sorry. 4 by 4 the children walk and scout the realms above her. When they find the one they seek, they'll tear the plains asunder. Uruzatar. Great. So, I guess the whole of Carnea has been turned to stone.
Right.
And Uruzatar's now
sounds a bit
God.
full of himself.
Should we just go?
We came all the way here for this.
Daryl's like, what the fuck?
Okay, so according to this, literally everybody in Carnea is now a statue. Oh my.
Adrian's in there.
Yeah, but it does say on here that we gave from the Elder Box.
I mean, I assume. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Not even King Wolfram knows that.
Perhaps we should
well.
dispose of that letter so so nobody finds it.
I think Wolfram is aware of that.
I just put this. I'm just gonna keep this. I'll just keep this in my pocket, and yeah, we'll not say anything more about this. I look at.
I look over at Daryl.
You're not gonna tell anyone, are you?
Am I gonna have to rip out your tongue, Daryl?
Well, hold on here. I wasn't the one who did this.
I think the world has a responsibility, has a right to know what has transpired here.
Oh,
Only.
oh,
Hang on, hang on. Only if we shift the story a little bit.
yeah. We can't tell them everything.
Now, hang on. Technically, I wasn't part of that whole Elder Box thing. That was you two.
No.
So it has nothing to do with me.
Specifically, it was Scrimshaw. If we're pointing fingers.
Look, it doesn't
Guys.
matter who did or didn't give an Elder Box Shard of a God ability to level whatever they basically like to a Rakshasa, but it doesn't matter who did that. What's important is going forward and not pointing fingers.
And also not mentioning any of this to anyone.
Well, I
Apart from the
totally
fact that-
disagree. I'm sorry, but I don't agree. Look at you. You're talking about millions of people that have been killed effectively, and you
Yes.
care more about taking blame for something that happened months ago.
I mean, people already know about the Elder Box.
Yeah, but they don't need to know that we're the ones that gave it to them.
I mean, Wolfram already knows.
No, he
Pretty
doesn't.
sure.
We didn't tell him. Did we?
You
I think
did.
so.
I mean, and Merith definitely would have told him otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, but we
Considering
don't, want,
Merith's
we don't want everybody to know, do we?
I mean, the Tempest brand now as well.
Yeah, the Tempest brand did bring it up.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Pretty much anyone that we don't want to know already knows.
Well, we don't want everybody to know.
Well, who's everybody?
Like, the world. What if we get fans?
I'm not. What is? How does that work?
I don't know.
That
I
doesn't-
don't know. I'm just
Is that like-
worried. What?
I don't know. Is that like being a god?
Sure.
You have fans that worship you and.
But, well, should we go?
Sidetrack.
Is it worth walking all the way to the town to see if we can find anything helpful, or are
I
we
don't
just gonna
know.
go back?
How far is it from here to Carneath Hold?
Are you asking Daryl?
Yes.
We might be able to get there in maybe 3 days.
Oh, 3 days.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He may have left things behind for us there. I don't really know.
Do you think he's left us the Elder Box? No, I assume that'd be
Maybe.
used up, right?
I mean, he may
He
have.
probably feels like we shouldn't have it because he sees himself as this weird protector of Erd and thinks that we just give it to some weird
Well, I mean,
demon
he's-
dude again.
I mean,
he's given up
likely.
that thing now. I mean,
He doesn't
Like-
care.
in this, I'm kind of looking over this. I mean, the mantle of responsibility. That seems to be some title that he's not just a mantle, but the mantle.
Seems-
all-
The capitalization here that denotes that it's
A thing.
a thing. Yes,
It seems
I
to
am
me
all-
like a display of ego more than anything else.
but
Yeah.
but regardless, if he's deciding to leave that, essentially, bugger off and pass on that mantle to us, then maybe he would have left some things to help with that.
May I weigh
Unless
in
he
here a little bit? I actually wrote as part of my thesis about Narizatar's theory on the mantle of responsibility. He believed that it was the responsibility of the most powerful creature or group of creatures in a realm to protect it from outsiders. That is the agreement he had made with people of Orthaid 500 years ago, well, 600 years ago when Carnea was set up. As time has progressed, less and less people have begun to see him as that sort of inheritor of protection. He seems to maybe think that you're somehow his heir now, and now that he is retired, effectively.
Oh, so he might have left us some stuff.
Well,
I mean, he had a lodestone of earth and an elder box, and I don't know. He may have just taken these things with him, but
I assume
I mean-
he has written here that he is planning on continuing with his own personal aspirations. So I doubt he would have left you anything too powerful. I mean, it is a long journey to Carneathold. It would be disappointing not to find anything.
I think we should have a look. It's not like we've got anything else to get back for, right, guys?
Uh,
I know. Does that mean that there's no magical field over this area anymore? We could teleport out, maybe? We could go to
I don't know,
Carnea.
and Gera, if you maybe try messaging someone,
You could message
Someone?
Wolfram and
Wolfram,
say
Halfling?
everyone in Carnea has been turned to stone. Not sure what to do now.
Well, yes, I agree we should say the first part, but I think it's rather up to us to decide what to do next.
Okay. Well, I'd quite like to go to the Carneathold and see what's there, and then hopefully teleport back out. And
I do want
Yes.
to.
I kind of also just want to see what the Carneathold looks like.
Same. No, that's Matt
Yeah,
talking.
we've come all this way. It would be a shame to stop. Just
It would be a shame if certain artwork didn't get.
I also want to make sure that Badran is here, so I can destroy his statue.
Nice.
Roxon, my dear
Yes.
friend, we understand that we are to help you back at home. What is your thought on this?
I mean, it seems like a waste of time. If everyone's stone, why are we going to see stone people?
Well, I mean, we don't know for sure. There could be some that have managed to protect themselves from it. There could be things remaining in Carneathold.
Yeah, but what are they going to offer us, really?
I don't know. That's to see.
Like, even if there's one or two people alive, what is,
I mean, there could just be further information for us to get to garner. It would seem imagine. I'm just imagining a conversation where we return to the king and say, "Ah, yes, we stepped about 3 feet into Carnea, found one letter, and then decided to just leave."
Yeah, but like we could just say we went to the rest of the way, and
But what if it's just a lie?
I'm
If
with
we can,
Roxon.
if we can determine that we are able to teleport out of this place now, I don't know if it's actually the mountains causing this or something that Naruzatar had over the area. Then
I'm with Roxon here. We can always come
3
back to
days.
Carnea.
I mean, I was just not going to come back. But
Oh well, I think we should go to Carnea Hall and then just teleport away because we need to know he might still be around. He might have only just made this bit stone and we would never know. I just left this note, in fact, hoping we'd fuck off.
I personally think that I would rather go back to the fort now.
Well,
myself.
you can go back to the fort.
Okay, you like leaves.
Okay, bye.
Thank God.
Uh,
Right.
Say, Roxon, would you we could always consult the storm again.
We could consult the storm, but I don't know what I'd ask the storm.
Well, we could inquire whether or not the current path is correct.
Why do I have to do that?
Well, I can always do it. That's fine.
Yeah, if you could, thank you.
I mean, I can have a go
It-
too.
It scared me a little bit last time. It's
Well,
quite intimidating. There was lots of lightning and stuff.
very, very frightening.
Hmm.
Thunderbolts and lightning.
My mama wouldn't let me go.
God.
Yikes.
So, stormy time, or shall we just go? Because it sounds like you're desperate to go and see the stone people.
Oh, I do want to go to Carneath Hold. I think
All
we need
right,
to check.
fine. Let's go see the stone people so that you can be happy.
You don't know if they're going to be stone people, Roxon.
The letter said they're stone.
Okay, well, if I
They
said,
said-
Roxon, they're not stone, what would that... Would that
Well,
change
you
that?
didn't write a letter about it.
Do you want me to write you a letter about it?
Well, no, because then I know you're just writing it to try and convince me that there's no stone people.
No, I'm not. I actually think that there's no stone people, Roxon.
Okay, fine. We'll go and see the stone people.
No! Okay, fine. We'll go and see the potentially stone people.
They're definitely stone people.
Right.
So that you can have your moment of, oh, they really are stone. Let's go back and help Roxon save his family.
Yeah, that is
Yeah?
exactly what
Sound
the plan
good to
is.
you?
Sounds wonderful to me.
Lovely.
Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Mommy, Daddy, why are you
Yes,
fighting?
So, did you want to commune or not?
I mean, we can just do it as we go. I mean, it sounds like there's 3 days. So. And also, I want to try messaging first before we even leave
Right.
to what's his name?
Wolfram.
Wolfram.
You
And
better
just-
not dob.
Well,
Who
no,
knows?
he's just going to say about the stone figures
Stitches get snitches.
and pretty much say nothing else.
Okay.
Roxon, it's the other way around.
Yeah, you
Bitches
don't
get
you don't get a
bitches.
reply.
Okay, I don't get a reply. Does it feel like there's something blocking the signal?
Make an Arcana check. It feels like the geography around here seems to not be getting through particularly well. Like the
Okay.
signal doesn't get through very well.
Can Gira ask Daryl?
No, he's gone back to the fort now.
He's left. You told him to go.
Can I do another Arcana check to see if that same rule would apply to something like teleport?
You know that I think from what Estel Jafara said, that it's a little risky attempting to teleport through like into Carnea or out of Carnea. I don't think it's impossible, but you may end up materializing inside a mountain. So,
Okay.
which is
Compact
probably something that you
sand
don't want to do. But you can always give it a try. As for anything else, what else did you want to do?
Sorry, say that again?
Is there anything else anyone wanted to do?
Anyone?
No, I just wanted to walk into Carnea.
I mean,
I'm keeping an eye on every statue we pass to make sure none
Oh.
of them look orcish.
and after we've been to Carnea, we could always head east,
Yeah, that sounds like a good
And-
idea.
get out that way. That would mean we're not even probably spending that much extra time. Get to somewhere where we're able to teleport.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you pack up your stuff. You head out on the road, and sort of past that wagon of petrified people and horses. You see it's carrying just a few like barrels of supplies, and like a scion is like walking had walked alongside it. You see the cart is sort of like backed up into the horse itself. Like the horse was moving when it turned to stone, and then the cart sort of like rolled into the back of it. So the tail has sort of been chopped off and is on the ground next to it. But as you walk through, it's eerily silent. Usually you might hear birds or something else. Instead you just hear sort of like the whooshing of like air, like the breeze. And again, the fog is still lying, not really moving much. But I mean, you've got a couple of days travel. What would you like to do?
Mm, I don't know.
I mean, it'd be just interesting to see like the kind of just what it's like along the way. You know?
Yeah.
So whilst you're up in the mountains, there's really not much on the roads. You don't really see much in way of farms or huts. At least for the first day of travel, you see maybe one cart in the whole road. And as you're starting to get towards the end of the night, you are maybe a couple of hours away from Bolokov. You can continue to push off. You also see in the distance a faint glow coming from the town. And as you sort of like crest sort of a hill where you see the city, which is actually the largest city in Carnea, you see like a mass of rickety wooden buildings, sort of stacked almost one on top of the other, sort of like built on top of this older like stone city that has stood, clearly for thousands of years, or maybe 1,000 years. But you also see a raging fire begin to burn like through the city as unchecked fires, and no one has been able to put out any fires, and they've just been growing. So it seems like the last couple of days, this massive fire has started to burn half the city. And as you start to get closer towards it, you start to see huts and fields and forests, which look more like typically well kept sort of fields and places like that, as well as copses where young trees have sort of been stacked row by row.
Is there...
Yeah, I mean, there are people around who are all had been turned to stone. You notice that everyone seems to be out doing their own thing. People chopping down trees have been petrified like mid-swing, and when you like sort of peek through windows in huts coming into the main town itself, families are sat around tables and have sort of. I mean, they look. I mean, the average person here looks like they were emaciated, hungry, not very well looked after, but they've all equally been turned to stone. But as you come into the main city itself, again, like the smoke is starting to like pour in your direction, and it's getting pretty like tough to really approach the city walls itself because the smoke is so thick around here.
Is there a way around the city?
Yeah, you can go around it. But like to go into the city itself, it seems like the whole city's dead. Like there's no sound except for like the occasional crackling and splintering of wood as like buildings collapse in on themselves as fires continue to burn.
It's such an eerie thought to think this like whole city's on fire, and then, like instead of people running away, they're just like silent statues just like around the place.
Yeah, like the whole city has basically come to a complete standstill.
Bizarre, isn't
it? Okay, so that's really where you have to stop for the first night, and then the next day you can travel most of the way to Carney Cold.
Cool.
So you can either camp outside the city or inside the city. It's your choice. In the woods, on the road, you haven't seen any movement, any like creatures moving around or anything. Actually, you have occasionally seen, like, when you're in the mountains, you occasionally saw a bird or two, but that could be explained by birds just flying into the area. But all the trees and vegetation are untouched by the effects and stuff.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't really want to sleep in a burning city.
No, it's...
What do you mean? It's warm, it's nice and cozy.
I think maybe we should just walk on a little bit until that we're far enough away from the city that we're still kept warm by it. We're not going to burn to death in our sleep. How does that sound?
That sounds like a brilliant idea.
Right.
Or maybe so that like the size of the whole city being on fire is like, from our perspective, like a campfire size.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can be so flippant about what is going on. This is a memory that unfortunately I will never forget.
Yeah.
I've been around a burning city or two. You kind of get used to it.
I think if you're
I
going to
pity
carry on
you.
doing this line of work, Gira, you're going to have to harden up a bit.
Oh,
Unfortunately, death is just something that happens.
I've seen worse.
there's a difference between hardening up and completely losing track of what makes you guys humans.
I lost that a long time ago. Even
You
though I'm not a
guys-
human, so I never really
There's
had it.
only one human.
Gira, when you say hardening up,
Oh no!
I don't think he meant that, Scrimshaw.
oh, okay, never mind.
Well, maybe he did. I don't know.
Well,
We were there
Like,
in
at
Aura
least there's-
At least these people can't feel themselves burning.
I hope.
Yes, that is some solace.
Unless it's like a stone cage where they're still inside and like alive inside the stone.
Well, do you want to go and rescue all the statues?
No, because they're statues and stone people.
Exactly. In Aura
I was just-
people were burned alive, and that was horrific. At least these people are silent and already.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
they're
I
being
guess.
nice and not screaming about it.
It's deeply unsettling, this whole ordeal, but I feel that it's a solemn duty to bear witness to this.
What kind of population does Bolokov have?
It's mostly peasant, like a peasant sort of class. There seems to be, looking into the city. I mean, you haven't really walked around the city, so all you've seen are like the rural poor so far. But it seems to be a city not super unlike any others, except for there's way less like like more rich areas. The only rich-looking areas seem to be like large forts where either the ministry or like scions live. Literally everything else is just like a big, almost like a ghetto of some sort, like of buildings piled on top of each other, hastily constructed and like made of basically whatever they can find to make things with.
So in terms of population, maybe like 10,000.
Make a intelligence check.
Oh,
It looks about the same size as Baratheon.
that's a lot of people.
Yeah. A lot of death.
Seems a little overkill, doesn't it?
All the more reason to find this guy. Bastard.
Like, I can understand if his ministry turned on him to turn back on them, but to turn your whole country to stone? Like, who lashes out like that at their people as their reign comes to an end?
This is remarkably close to
It's
home.
it's like he was refusing to go in a way.
Right, okay, let's stop that.
I don't know.
Well, let us move on from here for a bit longer before we make camp.
Okay, so you continue on for another hour or so until you are on the north road by the side of some sort of like hut. I mean, you can go in the hut for some shelter and warmth if you want. There's like a sort of like little farmhouse. So you creak in there. There's like an old man and like some sort of like there's an old man kneeling beside a bed. Where there's like a young girl in there who's like wrapped up tight, and he seems to be like weeping or something. But like it seems that when they were petrified, like there's clearly some depressing something going on in this house.
What, the girl was dying, does it look like?
Perhaps.
Oh, sad.
She looks very emaciated and very weak, whilst he looks really too old to be of much use. Like the larder isn't very well stocked, so let's say it like that. But there's enough space in the main sort of like room around the fire that you can sort of wrap up tight, make a fire, just wait the night out.
Just add to the fire in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Is it really bad if I take the girl out of the bed and use it to sleep on? Is everyone okay with that? I'm just gonna put her on the floor with the other dead guy.
Scrimshaw will only silently judge.
She's not using it anymore.
Just be careful not to smash them.
Yeah.
What if the bed's infected?
Well, all the bugs and stuff, when he flees, will be turned to stone, right?
Yeah, I imagine so.
I don't know. Has anyone seen an insect in the last few days?
I don't tend to look for them.
DM, has anyone seen an insect, stone or otherwise?
Not unless you're like looking out for them, really. You haven't seen anything in the way of flies or butterflies or moths or anything there.
I suppose they're all...
I'm just gonna like have a look in the corners of the house, look for any like spiders or anything.
All right, make an investigation check.
Not very good at these. Oh, actually, not too bad.
You find one very, very small, like on in the kitchen, like on the side. There's like a very small sort of like some sort of spider, which is made of stone. It's very, very like it almost turns to dust, like as you touch it. Like, is that frail?
Yeah, it looks like insect stone too. So
You're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go with deposing the deceased, emaciated.
It doesn't feel
child.
good, does it? I don't know if I...
It's fine.
Well, it looks like I'd rather sleep in a bed than on the floor, but... Are there any other beds in here?
Yeah, there's the like father's bed.
Okay, well,
I wanted that bed.
sleep in that. Well, we can share.
We can share.
During the night, can Gira like bury them together?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you've
I'd
spent
like to help.
you spent a few hours extra making your way here. So,
Well, I can do it in the morning. That's not a problem.
yeah, you can do that in the morning. It'll take a few days, a few hours off your
Help
journey.
you
I'll help.
as well, so...
Yeah.
I'm sure will also help.
Yeah, guess so.
Mhm.
Okay, good night.
So, yeah. Did you want to do watches, or is anything you wanted to talk about?
We could do watches.
Sure, watch.
I'll go first on the watch.
With who?
I'll go second.
I'll go third.
Who's going?
I'll go-
Who's going with who?
Oh, I was just going to do it by myself.
Okay.
Me and Scrimshaw will do it
I
together.
mean,
We
okay.
never do anything
Yeah.
together.
Fine. I mean, the watches will go fine. It's just really if there's any like role playing you guys want to do or anything, like that's probably the best time to do it.
Guess we could talk. We don't do that a lot.
What?
So,
This whole thing with your dad.
mm,
I'm sorry we're not getting back as fast as kind of hoped we would. I can see it's kind of frustrating you a bit.
it's been playing on my mind quite a bit, yes. I would like to get back as soon as possible.
Hmm.
You know, I don't feel like I asked for much.
No, it's
No, I would
very
like-
reasonable.
I would like to make sure that my family is safe, and I fear they are probably not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully with the route that we're taking here, it's not too much of a delay. I mean, I think
Hopefully
once we get out to the east, I can probably teleport us back, and it means we don't have to traverse the mountains again.
Yes, that will definitely save some time. There's a lot of death around here.
Yeah.
Can smell it.
Can you? I can't smell a thing.
Can you smell in general?
Sort of.
Yeah.
You can't really.
Yeah,
Weirdly,
smell
Roxon,
fire.
actually, you can't smell any decomposition of any kind.
Well, I mean, he meant it kind of metaphorically.
Yeah.
Right?
But,
Not,
like,
not really
the-
like actual death.
Yeah,
but,
like the smells are incredibly neutral. Like, yeah, like whatever forms of decomposition that they were has been turned to stone and stone.
I'll rephrase it. Feels like death.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a
Like death.
Yes, that's all the death.
It's weird to have a town right there, and yet there's just no sound but the wind.
Especially one that's burning.
Yeah.
We can't
Yeah.
let. For everything it's worth, I know I could be a bit, cold, but we can't let him get away with this.
I don't know what to make of him, frankly.
I think he's a murderous bastard from what I can see.
I think he's lost perspective. I think he's
lost his
reached-
mind.
I think he's reached the point where he considers people to be worthless and on such a small scale that they just don't matter. I mean, how could you throw away your whole country?
He can't. He has to pay for this crime. We can't let him get away with this. I know he's in hiding somewhere, but surely there's a way to find him.
But I mean, look, he did this. What power does he have that he's been hiding from the ministry, from everything? Does he still have this kind of power? Did he sacrifice the Elder Box to do this? The lodestone of Earth, maybe Earthstone, maybe something to do with that. I don't know.
I mean, I'm no expert on all of that kind of thing, but if he does still have that power, then we'll need to find a power of our own. And not give it away this time.
It's possible that he's far beyond what we thought he was.
We would need help if we did find him.
Yes. At some point, I would have hoped that help could come in the form of Aaron. But the more I learn about his actions in the past, the more I'm inclined to think that he might not align with our ideals.
Well, everyone's got their demons. Everyone's a bastard in their own way. Even the people in this group. We've all done bad things. I mean, I don't know much about Gira, but I reckon he's probably done something.
Might be some repressed stuff.
Yeah. It's very mysterious. I mean, Godfrey's killed innocent people. Morna's Morna.
I'm not sure I've killed any innocent people.
No, but you've killed a lot of people.
I think the closest would probably be guards in a war situation.
My point is, we've all done things that we regret and may have been able to be done differently. But, fortunately our strongest allies seem to be the worst ones. If that makes sense.
So this dad of yours,
Mm-hmm.
how long has he been in charge there?
Since his father's father. He runs in the family. it's chieftain. It's not democracy. It's it's a tribe. We don't really do voting.
Well, I suppose nowhere here really.
The only way a tribe changes hands, such as trial by combat. Combat, power. It's a tribe. It's ruled through power.
Weirdly enough, I think the only place we've really seen any semblance of democracy around here was was Port Dalron, and look what happened there.
What we can conclude is democracy is wrong.
Well, on the other hand, we have
everlasting
everlasting dictatorships, as happened here, and
well,
now
hang on.
basically isn't a here.
Hang on. That's right. It's not a. It's not like that. If someone wants to try and take the crown, they're welcome to try. But
was that not kind of the same with Narizatar? Just no one was strong enough.
I suppose
that's what we planned on doing.
I suppose, but my father was nice, okay? And he is nice, he's still alive, I feel it. I'm hoping, please. Hopefully.
Does anyone else want to chime in or do anything? Or?
Nah, I'm good.
I could chat with Gira. Gira's up for a chat.
We can do it while digging graves.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so you managed to get a couple of shovels, which you find in a drawer, and you begin to pat at the hard, quite tough soil beneath you. Before you start off, what did you want to say to each other?
So I've noticed of late, you haven't really been the happiest with all of our choices.
Perhaps. I don't think that's a problem.
Don't... You keep mentioning how this storm keeps guiding you wherever you need to go.
Yeah.
That doesn't really sound very free to me. You're always doing what this thing wants you to do.
Well, I think we always have things which drive us to do things. Freedom is subjective. To me, freedom is to know that my service is ensuring the universe continues so all creatures can be free in, whatever way they choose.
Guess so.
Why, what do you think? What do you think of the storm?
I don't know if you keep saying that you'll consult it, you'll talk to it, like you'll ask questions of it. I don't know if it's got a personality. I don't know if it's sentient even, or if it's just this thing that you throw questions into and then this weird jargon gets back to you, but...
I will try to describe it to you. It will be brief. The storm is just the storm to me. To someone else it might be something else. It could be the mist, or it could be a name, it could be a person. It's just a form of a kind of entity that is not of any realm, per se.
See... And did you, ask it for your magic? It just decided that you were worthy of it?
I don't remember. I just remember waking up and knowing to follow the storm, and that's what I've been doing. I do appreciate that it is a rather abstract concept that shouldn't really make much sense at all, but I think it's a matter of faith. and I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it is. What it might look like to me might be entirely different for you. I just know that it guides me, and it is it has the best interests of the universe at heart.
I guess so.
Which is I'm potentially realizing makes total sense that I'm brought here. If we are to hold the mantle of responsibility, then it makes sense the primal forces of this world have something to say about it.
Yeah. I
Speaking
don't really
of,
feel. What were you gonna say?
I was just going to say if you'd had any thoughts about the letter.
The letter. I don't really feel like I'm up for being responsible for many things. I can barely keep my kingdom, not even my kingdom. I can't even keep all the people I'm meant to be in charge of from murdering and killing. How the fuck am I going to be helping out with the whole fucking world?
Well, you could give your people a purpose. A new purpose.
I've been trying to, but they're so set in something that they've known their entire lives. I can keep trying and pushing for it, but in the end it's up to them, and I don't think they're going to make that call.
Well, isn't it the leader's job to provide vision? If you are just simply following the wills of tradition and what is, then, are you just nothing but a steward? If I may, it sounds from what I've heard that you've done a tremendous job so far of providing your kingdom with technology that baffles my mind. That is...
I have one detachment of riflemen. That's about it.
All great leaps start with a single step.
I want traditions, just the needless ones, the ones that just keep people back. They need to go, but people like traditions. Gives them a sense of who they are. And quite frankly, the traditions my people have been holding on to give them a sense that they're some kind of people that are meant to be against the world. I see a future for my people where instead of being against the world, we can be some of the greatest arms and minds to help everyone else.
Well, it seems like you've already taken the first step.
I guess so.
Things will work out, Gothric. They always do. Even if it's not the way you quite expected it to go.
Don't think anything ever really goes the way people expect it to, Gira.
No, I never said it does. Well, I'm glad we managed to fitting into, managed to bury these individuals as a family. It's, too quiet. Too much sadness.
Don't think these people can be brought back, right?
Can I do like an Arcana check? Because I know, like Matt knows, that flesh stoners don't flesh as a thing, but...
Yeah, I think you have a Greater Restoration as a cleric.
Is that a spell at my level?
Yeah.
It's 5th level spell.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I think it also
Wow.
costs some components.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, like Giro would have probably mentioned something, but I don't know. Maybe when I'm gonna improv this. Gothrop, I'll be honest with you. There's I don't think it's right to do this because it's unfair to choose a few lives over a whole. But I do have the means to I think potentially to revert this ailment. But it would be very small numbers, and I fear it would be unfair and wrong to choose a few above many just out of chance.
I kind of just look at the child for a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of sigh. I feel like bringing these ones back would mean her end.
Imagine explaining this to the small girl.
She'd die alone. This way they're together.
I could potentially do 3, 4 actually. So, well, that was excellent.
It's 100 gold pieces each cast, so
Shit.
FYI.
I fear we should. It doesn't feel right. It's terrible.
Part of me wants to find Badran here, just so you can do that on him, so I can have the pleasure of killing him again.
No, I'm afraid I will not do that. It's not right.
I know. I guess I should just... If he is here, I should just be glad that that fuck is gone.
Yes. I'm probably going to sit down and wait for the morning to come. If there is any morning in this fetid world anymore.
Okay. So you guys do the rest. Spend the rest of the night in the hut. The fire burns, keeping you all warm, but there is that sort of sense of unease as the dying child has been sort of like put in this corner of the room, and the old man has sort of been shuffled across as well. You wake up the next morning. Quite a beautiful day, despite the lack of birdsong and buzz of insects scattering around the fields. The sun has actually sort of slightly been able to penetrate the cloud cover, and a few rays of light beautifully cast a glow on top of the now smouldering city that is beneath you. You've got another day until you get to Carneyfold. Would you like to get up to anything on the journey?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you think
head off.
the entire ministry has been turned to stone?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I feel like if we find the... I was hoping maybe we could see if Eston Jafaris was still alive. But I'm doubtful. Or if there's any way we could take him with us and maybe bring him back for someone to fix him. Because he might know what's happened and what's going on.
You have other allies in the ministry as well.
Yeah, but I don't know which ones are good and which ones are bad. At least we know Eston Jafaris was on our side, so we could help, bring him back. We don't want to bring anyone who's not with us back.
True.
I feel like with Naruzatar gone, to be fair though, anyone that's not with us probably isn't against us anymore.
I mean, they have no reason to be at war with anyone that I know of.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
suppose we'll see what happens when we get there.
Okay, so you begin to gain in altitude as you begin to reach the north side of the sort of mountainous bowl that surrounds Carnea. And you begin to go up into the mountains, and the mountains begin to be a bit snowier. The snow cover seems to be a bit thicker, and it seems to settle a lot more here. As you round into the valley towards sundown, you see this. You see the sort of faint greenish glow of the fog begin to almost lift as it begins to like sort of funnel into the sky and over the mountain almost. You see swirling in the clouds above a sort of funnel of clouds and greenish fog which seems to collect into something out of view. But as you eventually make your way within vision of Carneath Hold, you see a large sort of blocky metropolis with a big sort of square tower right in the centre collecting this fog, or spewing it. You can't quite make out either way. You can't really seem to see much in terms of movement from it. But the road up to it shows this sort of like creepy, fell-looking city that doesn't have any sense of life or artistic like love attached to it. It seems very brutalist. It seems very designed to almost sort of encapsulate the whole idea of Neruzatar in a group of buildings. So here is the Carneath Hold art.
Ooh!
Oh yeah, there it is.
I like the skull.
I do like this. This is pretty.
Spooky.
Is this available in 1440p?
I think I've already given it in 1440p.
You never given me that in 1440p.
I can if you want.
Yes,
Is it
please.
available on display?
On what, sorry?
Is it available on vinyl?
No.
Is it available on Laserdisc?
Sick.
Well, so you continue on. Again, you see a few carts, people, mostly scions, who have got various forts and border and sort of little roadside checkpoints that they are looking over. Each and every one has been petrified and turned to stone. The actual main city itself of Carneath Hold, you look at. You're not quite sure how to get in just yet. The walls are over 60 feet high and have many gatehouses and different sort of entrances. And it's a tiered city, so it seems to go up right into the central tower. You don't really know where to start, honestly.
Well, over the wall, I guess.
Over the wall it is.
Okay, it's little issue for you guys to make your way into the city itself. You can either fly over the walls or open the gates or whatever. You know, when you're not when the walls aren't manned by people who will fight you off, it's very easy to get over them. So you enter the city. It's a very silent. you sort of have the feeling that it would be a silent city even if the people hadn't been turned to stone. You see the average person here is cloaked, either a member of the ministry or a scion. Very little in terms of a peasant population who lives here. There's a lot of different watchtowers and almost what seem like sort of almost prisons that sort of peering into. You see like cages full of people who are sort of piled on top of each other.
Whoa, cages full of people.
Yeah.
Are they like skeletons or they people?
No, they're
turned-
people who you assume were alive when they were petrified.
Oh shit.
That you as you sort of get closer and closer to the central spire in the city, you begin to see evidence that more and more of these people have been brought into the central spire in chains. For what purpose, you're unsure. But what sort of what direction are you guys heading in at the moment? Because there's a fair amount of city to explore. You could be here for days exploring, or weeks, or months.
I think the priority should be heading towards the center.
I think I want to try and find Destin Jafaris. Hopefully, even if he's turned to stone, maybe potentially our friend here would be able to make them not stone.
Well, yeah, I think we head to the main building with the the green fog coming either in or out.
Okay. Okay, so you walk into the center of the city, and the roads begin to turn into steps, which lead to a rectangular or squarish building, which stands probably about 250 feet in the air, which is collecting all this fog. Very little in terms of windows, except for the top few floors, which seem to be emanating some sort of greenish glow. The front gate is currently open, and you see a couple of people in the main plaza, which is this sort of like black marbled stone floor, which is highly polished with these big pillars holding the whole building up, and these sort of massive arched roofs, which are just covered in sort of strange, like sort of abstract shapes and things built into the top. It almost looks like some sort of like it's designed to break up sound. And quite likely, as you walk in there, usually in these sort of like big rooms, you would have some sort of echo. But as you walk around this room, it seems to be completely dead of sound. There seems to be no echo coming off any of the walls or slapback or anything like that. Looking around, there's a number of staircases that go up. There's a number of different there's a number of different sort of offices and hallways that lead to all sorts of other places. But if everyone makes me a perception check, maybe as you go into this building.
Ooh.
Extremely perceptive.
Okay, so Gothric and Gira, you Siri's talking to me.
Fuck off, Siri.
So Gothric and Gira, as you're looking around, you see that there's the amount of Scions versus ministry people. There seems to be a lot more ministry people gathered around here. As you look at them, there's a couple of ministry people gathered around who have obviously been turned to stone when this happened. Who one of them is holding his cloak open and showing another one a dagger, which he's concealed within his cloak. Roxanne, you see actually a number of as you sort of begin to walk down one of the corridors, you begin to now see the signs of a scuffle between one Scion and three members of the Ministry who are in sort of battle poses. Who there's a knife sticking out the back of one of the Scions, and the Scion has grabbed one of the members of the Ministry by the throat and is lifting him a couple of feet off the air. There seems to be this big brawl starting, and as you actually look around this room and as you start to notice it, everyone in the room has sort of got quite an on-edge look to them. Looks like something's about to kick off or has just kicked off when they were petrified. It's very interesting that it seems to have recorded this moment in history like a picture almost that you can sort of walk around in and have a look at.
Live art.
Yeah, not so live.
I think technically when you petrify people, they don't actually die, right? They just have the petrified condition, depending on obviously source depending.
I mean, you don't know. You don't know if they're alive or dead.
Can we find Destin Jafaris anywhere?
No. You haven't found him at this point.
Is there anyone else here that we recognize, or?
No.
Is there a way to head
You're
up
only
to
on
kind
the you're only on the ground floor at the moment.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
Keep
we
on
just keep
exploring.
heading deeper in.
Okay, so as you sort of go through the next few floors, you reach the top number of floors, which seems to be blocked off by this large, very intricately detailed wooden door that has all sorts of hexes and curses on it in multiple different languages, abyssal, occult sort of languages, which is open, and there's a number of ministers who have walked into the sort of like this large grand entrance hall to Nerizatar's quarters, where at the end of the room, there's a large balcony which looks over over sort of like a drop, and there's a big throne just sort of like there, which you assume Nerizatar would have sat at some point. There's a couple of ministers who have walked up to the throne and are in the position of looks like they're about to cast a spell. You recognise one of them as Eston Jafaris.
There he is! Bring him back to life! Someone heal him!
Gira.
Can you do that, Gira?
Gira doesn't say anything.
Okay, well, I guess if Gira can't heal him, we have to take his stone body back to Viel to get someone else to heal him.
Yeah, it would be definitely good to have someone that knows what happened here.
If I may, it might be best just to leave them here.
Why so?
What do you want to do with this? You want to find out about what happened, perhaps? Is that right?
Yes, we have already said that.
Well, it seems fairly obvious to me.
Does it? What happened then, Gira?
Well, they tried to start a coup, which we knew was happening. Nerizatar must have cottoned on, so they had to start it quickly, and he reacted by turning them all to stone.
Yeah, well, it would be nice to, make sure that that was what actually happened, surely.
So you want me to unpetrify this one man?
Yeah. Can you do that?
Perhaps.
You can unpetrify people?
Perhaps.
Okay. Well, I feel like that was quite important information to share with the group. But, yeah, if you could do that would be really helpful. Thanks, Gira.
I'm not happy about this, but if everybody votes in favor of it, I will do it on this one occasion.
I vote in favor of it.
I'm in favor.
I think we need to know what happened here, Gira. We've gotten the broad strokes, but it'll be negligent to not find out exactly what occurred.
Gothric?
Honestly, you're the one with the magic. It's up to you in the end, but they do raise good points. I'm in favor.
Gira kind of shuffles past them all and tries to cast Greater Restoration on Eston Jafaris.
Okay, so you touch the statue and you sort of visualize the Tempest. As you do, the sort of elemental forces coursing through your veins and heating up your hands as you touch the stone of his body. As you focus, it begins to turn to flesh, and it sort of radiates out from where you've touched quite quickly in a matter of seconds. As he falls to the ground and collapses, he lets out a big gasp, trying to breathe in. He looks up at all of you and he says, he knew, and that's where we're gonna leave off for today.
Hey!
But it was Merith, but it was Gothric's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Ruined it.
Gothric! Merith's not